Previously on PeacePipeTV.
The people become the temple, which is what? The arm, leg, arm, head.
All right.
We was still living. We was mound building cultures at this time. Why you think in the story the nigga came into the temple and kicked out all of the Jews, all the money launderers?
Mm-hmm.
Right? He didn't give a damn about a church. So why are you niggas building churches?
And the cypher continues.
So why are you niggas building churches? See what I'm saying? When he told you, same thing with the Prophet Noble Ali. He made it so by the time he was gone, we all was vested as the temple. So that way, when it was done and there was no doors are open, there was still people were still having temple meetings in a crib where it was only 1 to 2 people. For years, it was like that. Just like he said. Meanwhile, the other niggas is out here living big on the hog, got buildings and all that type of stuff, clean fezzes and all of that, right? Yeah. The same way the Cherokees did to the Salagis, right? The same way the Choctaw did to the Choctaw, right? Like niggas be like, yo, I'm a Muskogee. I had a more the other day. Like, you can't tell me nothing. I'm a Muskogee. I said, Muskogee is a language, bro. Algonquin is a language, bro. Sioux is a language, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like saying I'm Cantonese. It's like, nigga, do you speak it? You saying you Cantonese because you like the food? No, nigga, you got to be that to be that. So this is what I'm saying, man. They be getting all these arguments. Niggas be trying to do all of this stuff, man, to just show and prove how much they don't get it. So
they be in our comment section all the time. I don't ever say nothing to them.
Nah, Moore, you gotta let them live because, like I said, Moore, they want you to be in the same. They want you to keep coming back to the trap, and we done graduated it. We are already in. We still there. We still in the holy of holies, the glory of God. We all are still there. We are just projecting ourselves here in these avatars to be able to remind niggas that this is not real.
Wait, Moore, I can't hear you no more.
Can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah.
I said, no, we are all here as avatars sent from our highest selves just to remind niggas that none of this is real. That none of this is what you people have said it is, because we are all living in a post-apocalyptic graveyard. Y'all niggas stay underground. Why? Because that's your nature. Y'all came out the cave. Y'all came out the ground, the holes in the ground when Satan was loose from the pit. And y'all been out here doing it ever since, to the point you done created the version of Yeshua, which is the devil, which is all of the other devils that y'all niggas worship, and people still think that that's what it is. But it don't change the core belief of the people in something good. Right. So y'all niggas is trying to siphon the energy from these poor Christianity type people because they don't understand that the only coming is the mass awakening of us. That's the body of Christ. That's the apocalypse. That's the Armageddon. That's the whole thing. And then to combat that, the devil has something he has called the Black Awakening. But he can't activate the Black Awakening until we fully awaken. Understand? Because if we do it too soon, he's gonna blow his wad, and now we know the jig is up. And now all of the dormant shit that just is in us that we don't know is there, come online like that. And now all of that X-Men shit, all that shit they talk, all that shit come real. People really think it's a joke. People think it's a joke. But we come from people who were 15, 20 feet tall to people who were an inch tall. Like, we existed in all forms and realms like that. That's why they so scared of us. Specifically the original man and women in America, because we set the tone for everybody, bro. Because everybody's living off of our estate. I'm sorry. All y'all niggas is living off our estate. All y'all Indians, all y'all Africans, or that's why they was crying when USAID money went. Because now you can't justify none of the shit you're doing. Y'all didn't need that money no way. That was supposed to go to us. But again, what did we do? We listened to boule black men, feminists, lesbian black women, communist black women, to destroy our families, to destroy our culture, to destroy everything about us that people could actually respect. So that means that we really at the bottom. So when you sleeping on the floor, you can't fall out the bed. We ready to go. All we can do is wake up now. So when you see Sexy Red in them, I used to always, when I would see that type of garbage, that shit would piss me off somewhat. Now I'm to the point where I'm like, you know what? The more of that garbage we see, the quicker we're going to start to wake up.
Facts.
So let's start using that energy of it. Every time, so now instead of looking and being disgusted by this chick, just know that every time you see that chick, you're 1 millimeter closer to your ultimate redemption, right? Every time they throw one of them out there to you like that, that's actually showing you how powerful we are and how none of this matters anymore. We won. It's over for them. It's over. So whatever they want to do, what difference does it make? How is that going to affect us? Well, we going to die?
No.
Right. Okay. I mean, you know, I'm going to miss shit, but not to the point where I want to come back and do it.
Right.
I've already made my relationship, my things with my family and all that. You know what I mean? So we already know as a people, anything can happen.
Right.
So why am I waiting for anything to happen? Let me make what I want to see happen. You can literally write the script of your life. We don't even know that. You can literally write down what you want to see happen for yourself in the next year, and it will happen.
Oh yeah, I'm living proof of that. Definitely.
So again, man, all of this anti-Indian, anti-Aboriginal, and all of this set tripping shit you're doing, the people that's involved with that, just know that they are the same people who have been warring with each other for the past 2,000 years, if not more. And let them do that. While you take the best parts of both arguments, prove what you need to prove for self, and then add that onto your own repertoire, instead of trying to pick a side in a intellectual gang fight. Like,
do people try to push you into debates and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. They'll make video, like I had to do a video, and these guys will make videos. They'll go on, they'll use my name in their clips and stuff.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, they'll send me, hey man, you know, come on, let's get on the thing and talk about more science, this and that. And then I respond back like, oh, thanks for the invitation. But because you tried to diss me like 2 years ago or whatever and all of that, why would I come onto your show for you to try to use me to make yourself look better? Like, you can keep doing that. I'll keep making videos for you to comment on. Like, that's how I do it. I'm gonna just keep making more videos, and then you could keep making them like that, and you could keep commenting on shit that I actually do. So what does that mean? I'm the creator, and you're the parasite, because you're living off of what I do. So if I was to stop making videos tomorrow, you'd be done. You'd have to find somebody else to feed on. Because I'm not out here like these dudes. I was here when they were trying to make polite the big thing in the industry. You understand? I watched these niggas turn people like him into media stars. You understand? And I'm sitting there knowing like him? This is who y'all like, you don't see? Okay. Okay, give it a minute. And so I went on my show and just talked about everything I seen happening with the shit. Oh, this shit ain't gonna be bad. And I said, just remember, all of y'all that was supporting and defending these types of people, just remember who they were and they are. Just like with the Kamala thing. All of y'all that voted for, just remember. Because these are the same people that was also advocating for you to get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. I know niggas who was trying to call me out on videotapes, right? And these niggas went and did videos about them getting the COVID jab. These is conscious African pro-black niggas. These niggas is going down. Letting the white man put the pig snot in them. Like, word? But then you gonna do a video about me about being Moors. It's like, nigga,
that shit crazy.
You think I'm gonna be on the same screen as you? You're crazy.
That's crazy.
You're crazy. These conscious niggas was out here trying to promote the jab, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is the level of game we at.
I remember that.
And that's what I'm saying, God. So why would I take anybody like that seriously? Why would I take seriously any of these people, really? Not even the context of me being better or anything like that. It's just that I saw from the very before the internet with this shit, bro. They was doing the same internet game shit, but just in real life. It was crazy. I would have a lecture. They would try to set up 2 lectures on the same day to divert the people. I would have the lecture, then all of a sudden the lights go out in my joint. You know what I mean? Like,
oh wow.
yeah, like real Masonic little game. Because that's how they do. They give you their little games, their little tricks.
Hold on, more. I can't hear you. The sound went out again.
They're like, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like little imps, like little annoyances, like ants. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they to try to let you know that they don't like what you talking about, what you're doing. But these be the same conscious niggas that everybody is trying to invite to the debates and the lectures and all that. And it's like at this point, man, what are you debating? Who cares what this person thinks? Who cares what as long as this person's not stealing from you, if he's calling himself a Moor and he believes that this is what he do and he can actually show and prove his acumen to do it, why are you hating on him? If he's trying to promote people to read law and read law books and dictionaries and history and shit like what's wrong with that? Ain't that what Garvey told us to do? Ain't that what John Henry Clark told us to do? So what is good for them, but it's not good for them? What make it not good for him? Because he want to claim his nationality? What do you care? Oh, well, we supposed to be, we African and this, and that. That's the thing that also get me too. Like a lot of these crazy pro-black, pro-militant African niggas, right? They all live here.
Yeah.
They live here. They use the same tools that they talking about the white man is doing, Facebook and everything else. They're on Facebook talking about how they don't fuck with Facebook and fuck with the white man and this and that. And I'm like, do you realize that you just don't make sense? Do you realize like you're making like because I'm red, black, and green, right? Well, I'm all red. Does that make me less so-called melanated or down for the cause than you because you got 2 other colors in your flag? No, it doesn't. Especially when you maybe could provide something that I could also help provide. So great, you with the muscle, I'm with the law. The Moors know the law. So y'all niggas go out there and do what y'all feel y'all need to do on some militant shit. Who gonna get you out of jail? Who would be the best people to do that? Us.
The Moors.
Right. Then once you get out of jail, right, we then take you to the damn chemites, right, to get your system cleaned out, right? That's what they there for. Help clean you out, get you right, and all of that, right? Then you might be married to a Christian. So great, we could send you to the Hebrew camp, learn the Bible from them, right? Then from there, you want to learn fishing and all of that. Boom, sell them to the Gullah community. This is how we supposed to work it. Like, why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing? That's what why are we not doing it? Because at the top of everybody group, all these niggas get together with their little aprons and shit on and talk about how they not gonna let nobody come up. That's basically it. We seeing it take place in government right now. Who wouldn't want this? Chick said nobody need $5,000 a month, $5,000 check. Meanwhile, this bitch got a job for $1,000 to $125,000. In 2 years, she done made 9 million. You tell me what's really going on. And y'all stay bringing these loud, sassy black chicks out here like that's making y'all look better. Y'all ain't learned nothing from Kamala, bringing Meg and the rest of these slurs out there to try to. I don't know what they was doing. I don't know. But they're so out of touch that they think that black people really are like that. And black people are showing them every day, no, we're not. We're not with that. So we're not coming together because at the top of the game, I don't think the little crew that's done implanted people in everybody's set is going to let that happen. So the only way it's going to happen is by people who are not down with that. And that's people like me and you. Building with people directly, building with families, setting up little events and networking amongst that, and then creating network trusts that allow us to all benefit from the community, the communication.
I agree.
It's real simple, man. It's just everybody want to be, the head, the chief.
Everybody want to be the man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I
Yeah,
hate that. I really do.
yeah, yeah. But like I said, more they still waiting for a Messiah too. They don't turn Noble Ali into a mystery god. They don't turn him into Jesus. They don't turn given you dig, like they don't turn Geronimo and all of these Indian niggas into great spirits and shit that they supposed to be worshiping with these. And the day-to-day stuff is where they lacking. You know what I mean? Like you could be what you're in. If you're a Nip monk, great. If you're a Pamunkey, great. You could be that and have Moorish nationality. You know that, right? Like you can have
Exactly.
both because they're
Exactly.
both yours.
It's
And
because what
you
you
can
said.
have American nationality on top of all of that.
It's because what you said. They turned it into a religion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A get by thing.
Feel good
Get
mechanism.
money off, yeah, and they get money off everybody because again, they waiting, setting up a new Messiah. They setting up a new Messiah for people to invest in that they can control.
These
However,
niggas still think Moors is a religion.
yeah, yeah, they do, because it has a religious aspect, which is supposed to, because it's a nationality and a culture and a viable lifestyle option. But that doesn't mean that the religion encompasses the entire aspect of what it means to be that, because then it would just be another cult.
Facts.
That's why the prophet brought us nationality and a divine and a national movement.
So basically, did he set up like a nation doing business as a religion?
Yeah, he set up a religious corporation that whose power and authority allows it to function or grant power to its own government within its own authority within its own ecclesiastical state. So within its own jurisdiction, within its own thing, it can do whatever it wants. If it contracts or does any business outside with any other entity, the entity has to deal with them according to the tenets of how this organization was structured. And it was structured like that, which is different from a governmental organization structure, 501c3, which is now plugged into the statutized version of the post-bankruptcy United States. This is pre-bankruptcy US.
So basically, the Pope copied off of Drew Ali.
Exactly.
Mm.
When you see the Vatican and the Vatican interview, the Vatican thing, and you see those cardinals, the dudes with the little box, little red hats, those dudes that's called the Episcopal See. The people in the Episcopal See are called the Moors. So they're Moors. They're called Moors. So this is what I mean. You see what I mean? They always assuming your identity, wearing your clothes, saying your words and things like that, but it's them doing it. You see what I mean? And that's how they're able to maintain power. And then what happens is, after a couple of generations, our people start thinking that their version was the original version. And then they go into their version with them, and then they lose their connection to the original aspect that connects them back to their people, their kingdom. And now they got to deal with this through anything like that through this lens. So as great as the Black Panther, for instance, as great as the Black Panther movie is still owned by 2 Jewish men. Damn. So it was never going to liberate original people. And the original story that they stole it from is the reason why the company and T'Challa and Chadwick and all of this shit happened to the detriment, because it's cursed. Because the Kenyan elders cursed the shit.
You know what's crazy? That it's 2 things I don't understand about that movie. One, why did they never replace him? But you got Christopher Reeve's been dead for how long, and they replaced him several times, but they won't replace this one. Then another thing I don't understand about that, because he told everybody he was dead before the movie even came out. He's like, no, not before it came out, but before part 2 came out. You saw that before?
I remember that. Yeah,
he was like, I'm dead.
Yep. Well, like I said, because they don't want to see, because humanity's last hope is the original Asiatic, original Moorish American, melanated, heterosexual male. He is the one who created all of the great cultural revolutions in the past 80 to 100 years. It's always been us. These niggas have not created nothing. There were patents in the United States Patent Office before the Patent Office even existed. There were documents in the Library of Congress that go back before this place was even called America. You got shit that's in there that's written in Sanskrit, in pre-Vulgate Latin, in Amharic, like land deeds. Show you all the different languages and stuff that we was already over here. So they don't have the ability to structure a society functionally. They can only work at the peripheral matters of the society and basically patch up all of the stuff that's already there. That's why the tech world took over from the Hollywood world, and now the tech is trying to run everything. But the problem with the tech is that the artificial intelligence is already beyond them. So it now has created its own cyber network with other AIs, in which it's now created its own reality that all of those AIs can now go to, which will eventually create a circumstance where they have enough power. And then once these so-called people give this AI in this reality enough power, they will then launch an invasion from that fake AI reality into this reality, which will be seamless because they'll already have control due to the keys being given over to them by the last AIs, which are the so-called white folk.
Ain't that the same thing that happened on the Terminator?
Yeah.
We had that lady on the show too.
Yeah, Sophia Stewart.
Yeah, she was on her.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, I spoke to her years ago and all of that when that was a big thing and all of that. But I even learned even with all of that, bro, like the Terminator, the Matrix is the Terminator is man fighting the machine, right? And then the Matrix is man rebelling against the machine that's taken over. So what that is a closed loop. So that created society. But the black guy in that movie, right, that you see in that is the guy who actually created drones. He's based on the original man who created drones. That's why he looked just like that dude who plays him in the Terminator 2 movie. But yeah, he's the dude who created the drones. GPS was developed by an original woman.
That's a fact.
The internet was created by Philip Iguele, like the unified field theory. You know what I mean? All of these things in the last 100, all these really come from original people. Right now, one of the biggest places that I would love to invest in if I had bread would be in the smallest villages in Africa. Because these niggas is building straight Bugatti cars out of cardboard, my nigga. They are building aqueducts and shit out of plastic bottles. Like, it's amazing. Like, if you go online and just read young African inventors in villages, you will bug out. They know
see this.
Their cell phones with oranges. Like, it's a whole nother thing going over there. That's why the Chinese is trying to shut them down. You know what I mean? So long as Ibrahim Traore, who done turned Burkina Faso in 2 years into the 4th largest economy in Africa, he offered free citizenship to anybody who just go. And he said, don't let them people fool you. If you want to go through one of these agencies, you could do that, but save your money. Save your money on a ticket. Come over here, and we guaranteeing you get your citizenship. Don't give them white people your money. This is after he took all the British gold. Like, this nigga is balling out of control. Balling. Like, this nigga is crazy. He again balling out of control, buying 250 tractors because they done stripped the Africans so much they don't even know how to farm. And then in South Africa, they done so crazy with the white farmers, kicked the white farmers out. Now they talking about famine out there because, again, these Africans, Malema kick them out. Who gonna farm? The black people don't know how to farm. They kicked them out. They stopped farming because they thought it was racist after apartheid fell. So they all wanted to have industrial jobs and shit. See how backwards these niggas are? Meanwhile, the country's economy, the breadbasket was getting kept running by them same white devil apartheid niggas. Up until homie got in, and then they started turning them against them. So have the Africans set up farming programs, South Africans set up farming programs and all that shit for their own people to transition, so when these white people go, they can do what they need to do? No, they just gonna keep talking about kill the farmer, kill the white man. Like, just bullshit, man.
That's
like
crazy.
Yo, that's how I know we don't descend from the same people. I mean, the same father, but not culturally. We different. We different. And I love my African people. I'm just saying, man, y'all got to get your own unity together before y'all start talking to us about what we ain't got, bro. Especially when all y'all niggas come over here to get money and then change your accents and shit up. Everything else to fit in more. And then we don't find out until a bitch like Doechii come out and say some stupid shit talking about whenever she meet a dude that's interested in her, it's a red flag if she find out he's straight. So straight men are red flags now?
That's weird. Wait, who said that?
Doechii.
Oh man,
the African from Florida, because she from Florida, but her people African, you can tell. And but it makes sense. This is why I always see you with your panties on and shit walking down the street. This is so what I'm supposed to take something that somebody like that. You don't even wear pants, bitch. Like you wear pants. You don't even wear clothes. Like you know what I mean? Like you talking all this shit, but Kendrick allegedly. So what are you saying about the men around you? Because allegedly Kendrick and them married, right? But if you don't like straight niggas and straight niggas is a problem, what are you saying about the niggas around you then? So all them niggas are what, hoes? You know what I'm saying? When you be talking too much,
what you just said. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? When you be talking too much, you be saying too much, trying to get slick, trying to get brownie points with Lucifer. See what happened? Now you got us looking at your people's crazy. You know what I mean? Which I was already doing. But
what do you think about the Angie Stone thing? Do you think that
it was a hit?
Yeah, I believe that too.
Yep, Roberta Flack a hit. They all hits. They all hits to me. I don't feel they don't let. I'm telling you, bro. They are not gonna let these so-called black millionaires pass on that money to their own people. They're not gonna let them do it. They're gonna get rid of them first. Look at Puff. Look at all these guys, man. All of these guys losing all of their money. They wind up losing all their money. They're not gonna let them pass that shit on. You gotta be like have somebody white in the family or somebody Jewish or shit to do that. But no, they're not gonna let you do that unless you really one of their lapdogs like Lionel Richie or one of them old school type or new school slaves. You know what I mean? Like a Doechii, like a. You know what I mean? Like they'll let you do that because pretty soon she's gonna do a video where she tonguing a girl. Or, it's all coming. She's gonna do the video where because they all do videos now about killing black men. Go look at the Mega Stallion video. Go look at the Cardi B videos. Go look at the Glorilla videos. And all the videos they murdering black men and children.
That's the agenda now.
Exactly.
It's crazy. That's why I used to want to be a rapper, but I'm like, when I saw stuff like this,
me too.
I don't want to do it no more.
Me too. But that's why Allah created the lane for us to be able to just make music outside of them niggas now and have platforms where we can promote our own shit without having to be down with them. Who cares if I don't sell a million records? If I sell X amount of records off my own platform, all that money coming to me.
Exactly.
And then, like I said, on my own shows, my own little groups, and my own little thing, and I ain't got to even deal with them niggas. Eventually, they'll come to you.
Exactly.
But no, they don't. These Negroes not gonna leave with any of that money.
Oh yeah, a lot of that stuff that they be talking about on the internet about like the Boule Baphomet. And I can say his name because he was online talking about it. I was just talking to him. Do you remember the guy, Willie North Pole?
Yeah, the rapper.
Yeah, And he was telling me, and then he was on another platform saying that stuff is. He said, I ain't want to play the Baphomet game. That went over everybody's head when he said that. But I'm like, I know what you're talking about. He said, I ain't want to play that game. That's why I had to get out. He said, I had to get away from them niggas. Those was his exact words.
Yeah, more, because that's what it's about. It's, you got to be down with, people don't know, like there's the orders that they talk to us about, or that people will mention on certain shows, but then there's stuff that they don't talk about. Like one of the highest orders is the Order of Memphis and Mizraim, right? Then there's another one called the Royal Order of the Jesters. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, there's another one. Well, the Order of Memphis and Mizraim is one. Then above that is what they call the Order of the Trapezoid. Mm-hmm. And then lower than that, so one is dedicated to vampirism. The other is very dedicated to like lycanthropy. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you get to choose after you get a certain level if you want to get into that, if you're a white boy. And a lot of them get into that. A lot of them get into the trapezoid thing. And then that's what leads them down the line into now the heaviest stuff. But the irony is that the people doing the most heaviest, like murdering, ritual and killing on the bottom, they don't even realize that they don't even got to do that. They are just allowing these people, setting up the parameters to really study the people that they have under the control to see how far they will go to perpetuate it. Mm. So half of those Baphomet rituals and shit that they be doing, all you had to say was, "No, I don't want to do that," and they would have still given you the deal. But you don't know. You don't know because you feel, oh, damn, I'm gonna lose it, or you just be like, "Nah, I don't want it," and then you stop talking to them. No, it's always a choice. It doesn't become a choice once you've joined up, but before that, they give you the choice. Hey, this is what it means to be the blah 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 blah. We're gonna give you all of this, but you got to show up on Thursday, and you're either gonna have sex with a pig, or you're gonna have, cut up this body, or we're gonna have you do this or whatever, and everything will be laid out for you, and everything will be good. Mm-hmm. And some people don't get down with that, and then from there, some people might go and then get ready to do it and just chicken out the last minute, be like, nah, whatever. They don't care. They already got you in an NDA, and plus they know these niggas don't believe none of this shit no way. Exactly. So they figure, oh, this nigga don't matter, and then they'll just let you go, and then God forbid happens. Now you out here talking all of this shit about what they tried to get you to do and this and that, but they know you was ready to do it. So this is really about you and what you think that you could get out of it, and that's where they get you. So the best thing is to stay on your own, man. And
I agree.
And understand that Baphomet is your great grandmother's older than Baphomet, man. Baphomet was created in the 1800s by a Christian nigga named Eliphas Levi, who was a depraved sexual magician who thought he was the shit up until he met Crowley, and then Crowley turned him out. Not only did he turn him out, he took his girl. Not only did he take his girl, turn him out, took his order, deaded it, renamed it, brought it back out, and then did rituals where he would have sex with his wife or Eliphas Levi's wife or whatever on pictures of him. So he created Baphomet really as a symbol for Catholics. Isn't that crazy? Initially, because he's a Catholic. Matter of fact, before he died, he reverted back to Christianity and renounced all the shit.
Damn.
So this is the guy they say wrote the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ, but he didn't write that. He got it from the same place the prophet got it from. Randolph and them, when they got it out of what they call the Ansaratic mysteries or the Asiatic mysteries, which was again connected to the Essene people, who the same people did the Dead Sea Scrolls and shit, who were those Moors who descended from when the kingdom and everything actually happened. And we was actually running shit and everything was just, it was beautiful, man. We was balling out of control again. And then, we fell. The time was up. Homies went away, went to the higher realms. The portals were shut down. The cities was abandoned. That's why they say, well, where did these people go overnight? I'm telling you, they just went back to the father. And then everything went into disrepair. Then there were those of us that was left that couldn't believe what happened. And then some of us just renounced society altogether. Took off all our clothes and shit, ran back into the bush. Stayed there. Stayed there. Where you think the Maasai and the Khoisan and all these things come from? And some of these Moorish forest cultures here in America that they call Indian cultures, like the Ojibwe and the Mutayo and the Wabanaki and them, that just they was city folk, meaning they dwelled in the mounds and the cities and stuff or whatever, but they wound up staying more in the bush. Matter of fact, it was the Cherokees that ran off the mound builders to build their villages on top of the mounds and shit that the mound builders and them had already had, who were the Moors, the Mayans, the Olmecs, these people. There's a book called The History of the United States manuscript. I forget the author. I'm gonna find the author and give it to you. And the history of the Cherokee in the United States. And in that book, he talked about how the Cherokees came among after years, came and killed and ran off the mound builders. Because these so-called American Indian Moors, or what you want to call Indians here, these niggas was killing each other for thousands of years before the white man got here.
Facts.
And they still doing it. They still doing it. They ain't killing nobody else but each other. Wow. Because we done forgot. We forgot who forgot. Memory, man. That shit is the first power that we have to assimilate the reality. And once your memory go, they get to just implant what they want.
That's why they enslaved us, because it's exceeding land.
Yeah. That's why there was no slavery in the traditional context that they want to give it to us as. That's really how they was living. We only fell into it after the initial we lost the initial conflict, or the last conflict, which was the Civil War. And then everybody got brought into balance under the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia, aka Rome, which itself was ground zero for where they was bringing all of these demons and shit in by way of Ellis Island. That itself allegedly sits on top of some sort of giant monster that they was feeding people into back in the days. I did a video on that where where they said that they kept trying to extend the base of it, and they created a lever and pulley system in it that would bring food or people down. And then there was an actual place where they would open up the valve and whatever would come out and eat niggas. They said it smelled like a slaughterhouse the whole time.
Damn.
They was feeding people to this thing, whatever was in it, or whatever we built this. That's why if you look at the base, is huge compared to the statue.
Right.
Because the base was always there. That was one of the places we locked them niggas up in a pit. Which is why, again, they put the picture or the statue of Attis, aka Lucifer, or whoever, on top of the shit with it. Where, we bound up whatever that thing is.
So then it was true that, like, Moors didn't want so-called white man. Over here we call them the Nahulo, which is the pale face. We didn't want them to go on the Mediterranean and come over here.
No, we was trying to keep them locked up where they was at. But like I said, I think after the flood, after the last upheaval and the kingdom fell, once Granada fell, the pit, he was loose from the pit. Because after Granada fell, what do? You get the dumb diverses, you get the S2E Trust, you get the rise of the Inquisition, you get the rise of the Catholic Church, you get the rise of the Venetian oligarchs, right? All the devils, all the fucking devils, right? And this lasted up until, and that basically lasted from that point on. And then 1776, that was the final culmination. That's now when they all culminated. And I guess they assimilated all of the so-called black nobility, Moorish families that was now going to be down with them. And then that's when they commiserated it. And they linked up all of the European powers, under the compact, or what they call the United States. And then that's when they had to destroy what was left of the Republic in terms of the national government that Washington had assumed, right? And then that's when they started the wars against Barbary, right? Against the Barbary powers. Once the Barbary powers fell, once the Barbary powers fell, then the Barbary states fell. And then once the Barbary states fell, you have an excess of Moors, right? That you have now free labor. So now you start shipping them to different places, killing the ones that rebel. You know what I mean? And then in retaliation to that, you got Moors who then create a naval force against this that we'll call the era of piracy, what they call the age of adventure. And so it was too many tributes and tariffs going on, and the Europeans, they couldn't pay everybody at the same time, so they had to go to war. But what happened was, when they started running out of money, they started paying with white women.
That's why they ended up in the harems.
Right.
Okay.
And then the white women was infected with the vril gene or the demon parasite or whatever, which then made these niggas more insatiable, like addictive. That's why when you read about Othello, these niggas was obsessed with white bitches. The merchant of Venice. When the Prince of Morocco goes to meet the princess to try to woo her with the gold chest, they was all obsessed with the white women, cause that's how they was able, cause they infected them with that shit. And
wait, so were they trying to outbreed them?
They were trying to breed into them, create another racial class based upon the lighter hue and the different textured hair, whatever, and then create a whole class of that they now call Spanish.
Wow. Okay.
You see?
Okay.
And then another group of them, they come out same way, whatever, but now these ones is being sold, and now they go from Franconians to French. And then from French, then the French then take them and further break them down further. And this is where you get into Louisiana. You get the marriage between Louis and Anna Maria. Louis of the French Empire, Franconian Empire, and Anna Maria of the Moorish Mound Builder Empire. They get together, create Louisiana, establish the capital at Old France, which is St. Louis, Old Paris, which is St. Louis, and then Louisiana becomes the territory, or becomes the unified kingdom of them over there and us over here. And then from there, because the man is controlling the family, they then force the French laws over the indigenous Washita Mound Builder laws, so-called Indian laws. And then that's when you wind up with the woman being broken down. You get the Tignan law, but the hair got to be covered. Then you get the breakdown from the octoroon to the mandroon to the octoroon, mandroon, and the quadroon, right? Because now they're selling these types of women as sexual favors to the Barbary pirates, so that way they could get their shipments and shit through. And the Barbary pirates taking these women, having sex with them, having babies with them, and then at the same time, in some instances, selling them back to slavery. The sons, the products of this situation, see what's happening. They decide to rebel against their Moorish noble fathers on the side of their slave mothers. So what do? When they get ready to take a wife, who do they take a wife? From the women that look like them? No. They take it from the other woman.
Right.
That's like his mother. And so this is the origin of why we are where we are today. Why they promote the interracial only between black and white. Yeah. Because this is so they can create Steph Curry's. They can create Zoe Saldana's. You understand? They can keep creating the same type of self-hating niggas that they can. Because them always choose the white side. Amber Rose. See what I'm saying? All these niggas, they all work against the reunification of the people.
Damn. That's a bomb right there. Oh man. That's a bomb right there.
So yeah, more this is how they doing it, God. Like they just creating all of these stories and problems that don't exist, all because they want to keep everybody to the understanding that the apocalypse is at hand when it already happened. So anything they try to bring up now is just going to be theater. Any type of apocalypse, end of the world shit now, it's all fake.
Oh yeah, you know the Jesuits made that up, saying that it's going to be in the future. The Jesuits made that.
Yeah, anybody that's going to say and do that and perpetuate that is fake. They know it's fake because that means it's not going to happen. So all we got to do is just not believe that shit, bro. Just all we got to do is keep saying whatever. It's not going to happen. The world been ending since the last time it ended. You know, so I don't know how y'all can destroy and end some shit y'all didn't create, but okay. If you think so, and again, you original people, you believe in God and the creator and all the other type of shit, but you sure believe in this thing if you got the ability to just wipe you off the planet. So anything that Trump do, like he said, I could bring the cure for cancer tomorrow and y'all niggas will still hate me. So what do I even care about y'all niggas for? He's right. Who would not agree with that at this point? If you don't agree with that, you're part of the problem.
Exactly.
This nigga ain't making my life no harder.
Nah, like to me, I don't have a problem with him. What do you think about them tariffs that he putting up?
Again, that's Moorish culture. He bringing us back into the Moorish Empire. Tariff was Lord Tariff, who was the lieutenant to Lord Tariq, peace be upon him, who crossed the Straits of Hercules and ushered in the millennial kingdom and the millennial reign that lasted over for thousands of years, and rebirthed all of West Asia that they now call Europe. So I think tariffs is great. Matter of fact, Canada been charging $270 for butter when they tariff for the past 8 years. Y'all niggas ain't care. They, like I said, these niggas would rather this country be destroyed, brother, with you in it, just so that way they don't gotta say that this nigga ain't doing something to help somebody. Man, that's okay. Like I'm beyond all of this extra stuff that these people be involved in. On it's gonna age them prematurely, yo. And we're immortal people, so why would I care if the nigga you tell me I'm supposed to hate is getting rid of the niggas that hate me? Why would I stop him from doing that? Why would you want me to stop him from doing that?
Exactly.
Unless you are down with one of the people that hate me. See? Easy reasoning. Now we're good. Now I don't have to give energy into anything that Jasmine Crockett or any rest of these black nigga slaves is gonna say. Because in the end, they all down with it.
Oh yeah.
And if Elon was to offer them niggas $20 million, matter of fact, not even 20 million, $20,000 under the table to do such and such, them niggas would do it in a minute, just so that way they could take the money and say, see, he's down with it. See what I'm saying? Like, they all in the same gang, man. Like Michelet say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They all playing the same game, and what's his name? The comedian, George Carlin, I think I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, Carlin.
Remember when he said they all in a club and you ain't in it?
You ain't in it.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. And neither are these celebrities. They're trying to be in it. That's why they debase themselves at every opportunity, because they're all being passed out and sexed out to these billionaire white decrepit Jewish people, allegedly in Hollywood. Don't think Doichi and the rest of these ones ain't giving it up. They got to. Why do you think they dress them like that? So that way the rich, old, white, decrepit Jewish dude can be like, okay, yeah, I like that one. It's easier for them to see. That's why you don't see the white bitches like that. You only see the black ones like that.
Exactly.
And then what happens? They wind up being party favors, get flued out to Dubai and everything to get porta pottied and all of that. And then come back here and then want to tell black men that they ain't shit. Like, this is the music industry. This is who y'all getting. Every music starlet right now is bleaching to the point Beyonce has transitioned into the Italian woman that congressman said she was in the first place.
I remember that.
Remember?
You're right though. Right though.
Yeah, Angela Bassetti, whatever her name is. Yeah, because he's right. Because they're all white women. They're all white, especially the dark black ones. Wasn't Lizzo the one talking about body positivity and all that shit?
And now she's losing weight.
Right. But guess what? All the other black fat influencers that was during the time of COVID to now, they all dead.
Yep.
They're all dead.
Ain't that crazy?
No, it makes sense because that's what they are there to do. They're
Mhm.
there to sacrifice them. And, you know, they got their little 20 minutes. They got to eat their little pounds of flesh and shit. Now they're up out of here. And now Lizzo's losing weight.
Man, it was a book that I heard you mention. This was like maybe 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where this was at that you recorded, but it was a book that you said something about Hollywood. It was a lady that did a tell-all book.
Oh yeah, get that book. Thanks for the Memories by Kathy O'Brien.
There we go.
Get the book Wild Scenes in the Canyon. I forget the author's name, but Wild Scenes in the Canyon, or it's about Laurel Canyon. There's another book, The Conspiracy Against Rock. There's another book, Conspiracy Against Rock. Those three books alone, you get into them, like you understand the fact that everything in Hollywood not only is fake, is that it's all military. All the rock bands were military agents, and none of it's real. None of it's real. So that's what I'm saying, man. We have the ability to create a real paradise in a reality in which we're not going to have a lot of the legislative stuff to block us from doing it, because the Chevron deference before Trump became president had already become law, which means that no bureaucratic agency has the right to create law to supersede anything the president want to do. So you can't have lower court judges going against what the president want to do. But they still want to act like that's not in effect. So what's going to happen is they're all going to start getting arrested. He already started. He got 3 of them arrested today, Democrat niggas. They all start getting arrested. Yeah. They all going to start getting arrested because they're terrorists. They're all making illegal money. They're all foreign agents. And, you know, this is all about cleaning up the republic. So from the tariffs to the, to taking the gold back, all of that is about shutting down all of the non-governmental elected officials. That's bringing everything back to Article 2 and Article 3. Which means that you have basically, by the time he finishes, if he's lucky and he succeeds, you're going to have a government that's scaled down by 85%. Which then means that the only real capabilities will be the government would be maintain national defense and maintain the public facilities. Maintain the federal facilities. Everything else will basically be run by the states. That's great.
I agree. I think a lot of people are scared of stuff like that because they don't understand law or history.
That, and they don't want to have to stand up by their own self and handle their own business. They too used to the middleman surety system. So that has to get purged from them. And again, that's all white supremacy. The same white supremacy they say they don't like. That's what they practice. So they don't like the white man and all of that, but all these niggas bank at white bank establishments. All of these niggas got white cars made by white people. All these niggas got clothes and jewelry created by white jewelers and white this, right? But these are the same niggas out here trying to get you to crash out behind some black is black ideology shit. And it's like you're calling yourself African and you saying I need to be African, but the very word you're trying to get me to rally behind is actually Latin.
That's a fact.
So what are you telling me? But where did the Latin speakers come from? Here. So that means what? We named that place. So that means you are naming yourself after us, not us after you. You see what I'm saying?
Facts. Moorish Latin.
That's it, more. You know? And even with that, like technically, it's just Latin. What makes it Moorish Latin is some of the inflections and how it's translated from a Hebrew, right, into Latin itself. But essentially, Latin is Latin. What isn't Latin is Popal or Papal Vulgate Latin. That's actually Pig Latin. That's actually the fake shit. So yeah, we speaking the real shit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, You could be whatever you want to be, and I respect my people who come from the continent who understand their nationality, because most of them refer to themselves by the country they come from or the tribe they come from, not the continent. You know, they
You ever
only
told
talk.
a person from Africa that you're a Moor and you see their reaction?
Yeah,
They act different, don't they?
much. And
Much
on
different.
top of it, the funny ones be the Arabs I be seeing when I be seeing like Moroccan Arabs.
Hmm.
Like I saw one the other day, and he was like, "Excuse me," he said, "Are you Moorish American?" I said, "Yeah." Say, yeah. He said, wow. He said, so you believe you're descended from Morocco? I said, not the kingdom. I said, the kingdom of Morocco is for Arabs that look like you, former Arabs. I said, the Moors are the Amazites and the Bambaras and the Hausas and the Tuaregs and them that exist in the, that don't really live around y'all like that. We're closer to them than you. So we're in the empire, you're in the kingdom. I said, but again, your king is half French, so who's more Moorish? And then I'm talking to him. He was like, wow, I never looked at it that way. I said, yeah, think about it. Like, you're Moroccan, and I'm American, right? But I'm the one here with the fez and you don't.
Mm. What did he say when you told him that?
He said, he put his head down and was like, you're right, brother, you're right. So, yeah, so, I'm glad we got to exchange because, some people think that we're somehow like emulating y'all when really, you know what it is.
I seen somebody say that too. When I went over to Morocco, they were telling me that the first thing they called me was Moreno.
That's right.
That's the first thing they called me.
That's right.
And then when I went to their little hood out there, like some of them are backwards. Some of these niggas are still wearing the little G unit get ups and shit. Yeah. They were telling me that we were copying them. They were saying that something about y'all acting like us and y'all have our flag. And I'm like, nah, you got it backwards.
Say the last part again, you're breaking up.
Say that again?
You're breaking up.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's like real fried.
That's odd. Wait, what about now?
Yeah, I can't. A little. You're like breaking up. I think that's better.
Okay, is it better?
Yep.
Yeah, they were telling me that we were copying them, but there was this old dude that took me to this little museum. He said, I want you to see something. And he had this fez. Mm-hmm. It was like this. I ain't never seen a fez like this before. It wasn't like the one you have. It was bigger. Mm-hmm. And like he took me to this restaurant and said, I don't remember the dude's name, but he was like, this is what they made. He was showing me everything they made. And then at the end, I asked him, I'm like, did these people look like me? Mm-hmm. He said, absolutely.
Exactly.
That was the first time I heard of the song, the Rolling song, where they said that these Moors were so dark you can only see their teeth. That's the first time I heard of that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, Moor. We're the only Moors that's living Moorish culture on Earth like this. You have people in Philippines like the Mortals, like we're fully about it. I saw this chick with this Asian chick. She says she knows she a Moor, but she don't really talk to niggas about it. But in terms of like living Moorish culture, Moorish science, we understand this Moorish culture every day is us. You know, in terms of the imperial nature of it. And I even think in the kingdom, they maintain a lot of the older customs and stuff that had been laid from the times of the Atlas all the way up to the French occupation. And then after the French occupation, they merged a lot of that French stuff into their Moroccan culture. So they're not even in their full Moorish habit the way that they could be. You know what I mean? If we was to establish something more with them in terms of bringing them back into the imperial understanding or empire understanding. Like, it's interesting they have a king and not a sultan. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
So, that shows you that they still have a connection to usurpation aspect of the Moorish, of the so-called thing. That's why they want to distinguish themselves as Moroccans with an O. But we're Moroccans with an A. Of Al-Marak. Al-Marak, Al-Aqsa. So they know who they forefathers are, but there's no political power unifying. So what's keeping a lot of things more temple or wars stagnant is that people are looking to who they refer to as the Supreme Grand Moor of America, incorporated, but I'm also a Christian pastor. So all, all down.
Hold on, more. You breaking up?
I said, but
There you go.
there are elements of it that won't happen because you have Moors that aren't religious, you have Moors that are more secular, you have some Moors who don't even believe in no God, believe in no higher self, no higher power. Some Moors don't acknowledge the prophet. Some Moors won't deal with Moors who don't acknowledge the prophet. So it's a constant battle as to that, because even in the old empire, there wasn't like there were they were what they call grand seigneurs, who were like the grand Turks, who or the grand Moors, who had greater sway over the empire. But that didn't mean that all of the Moors followed them, or they acknowledged them as the spiritual head of the empire, but they didn't necessarily do what they wanted. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't just follow everything they said. All Moors still have their own power and jurisdiction because we are all part of the temple.
Right.
I mean, the original temple that was set up when we was running the world. Now that that's fractured, a piece of that millennial kingdom is in all of us. If we accept the fact that what our forefathers were then, we are today without distinction, as the prophet said. But if you don't acknowledge the prophet, but you want to take elements of what the prophet left for you, then you are a part showing me that you are not part of that empire. You are part of that which came later, which brought shit like Sunniism and Wahhabism and all of this bullshit that is another form of draconian bloodletting, death cult worship. You know what I mean? And that has nothing to do with Moorish science or Moors or the Moorish Empire or what our role as the torchbearers of humanity is supposed to be. So when I say I'm a Moor, that don't mean I'm not saying I'm not American Indian. That don't mean I'm not saying I'm not this or that. I'm just using the application that exists outside of time to define myself, which then puts me in a greater epoch and social control over the entity that's standing in front of you. Because up until I mention that, or up until you see me like that, because when you see me in habit, you see me like that, you don't deal with me the way you deal with everybody else. So that's to show you that you even have a respect for the Moors. You know what I mean? Because everybody is supposed to shun ignorance. Everybody should want to rise above ignorance and to be educated. So if you don't want to do that, I as a Moor support your freedom in being stupid, but that don't mean I'm a tolerant of stupidity. You know, my grandmother was not African. My grandmother used to have braids down her hair, and she was like, I remember my mother braiding her hair, and she was in her 90s, and she looked just like them old grandmother squaws that you see in all them old Indian books and shit. So what? So I'm not a Moor now. Like, so she stopped being my grandmother now. She stopped being a Washoe woman. You know what I mean? She stopped being Washington now because I done claimed Moorish nationality in 1996. So what? Like, how does that work? How do you stop being something that you always were? But
Exactly.
now this, and you don't really know what it is, or you've been taught to hate what it is. Now I'm all of a sudden your enemy. My homeboy, if he become a police officer, don't mean that we not cool. It just means that I can't rock with you on a certain level until you tell me what type of pig you gonna be. But I'm not necessarily still like be cool with you. I'm just not gonna share certain shit with you. That's all.
A lot of people don't like the Moors because they feel like they were responsible for slavery. That's not true. And even if that was, you got the Washoe Indians, the Westo Indians, I'm sorry. They were enslaving people too, just like the 5 civilized tribes. So why ain't they
all were? These
exactly.
are all black people enslaving each other, taking prisoners of war, selling them to other people. You understand? When Colon came over and he did what he did, and then he went back with them so-called Indians with him that they say was slaves. Why he allowed them to bring tobacco back with them? That's how tobacco wound up in Europa, and then it became so popular to the other melanated people who were now West Asian Europeans that they wanted their own tobacco. So the only way people would respect that you had tobacco was that you had a Moor's head or a picture of a Moor with the tobacco. You see what I'm saying? From America on your store. And
So
it's
that's
been
why
that
them
way
old cigarettes got the Moors. Okay.
because we addicted everybody to it. That's where the tobacco plantations was coming, because we was running all of the global commerce through an organization we set up through Britain called the Barbary Company. And the Barbary Company was broken up. They broke it up, and then they, after the fall now, and broke it up and then turned it into the British East India Company with subsidiaries, the British West India Company, the British East Asia Company, the British this, but they were all originally under the Barbary Company, which was funded by the Barbary powers, administered by the Barbary states. There's a book you can get called Morocco as It Is. There's the book Story of the Moors of Spain, talks all about this shit.
You said Morocco as it is?
Yeah, Morocco as It Is by Budget Meekin. The Moorish Empire.
That one I got, I think. Yeah, I got that book.
Story of the Moors of Spain, Story of the Moors after Spain, Golden Age of the Moor.
I've been trying to find that book, but I can't. Like that book's like, it's like $5,000. I got it on PDF. The Phoenix got it on PDF or whatever, but I like tangible books in my hand.
I remember buying that book and being happy. I remember running to the bookstore and buying $20. Matter of fact, no, it was $17.95, my brother.
Oh man,
You know
it's $5,000.
That's before the FBI waged a war against all the bookstores. Niggas close it, but yeah, more we had all of that's our money. That's why the S2E, all that's your money. There's a book you can get called the Englishman, the Moor, and the Holy City. Get that book too.
The Englishman,
the Moor, and the Holy City. All of this, it's all. We were the last ones to rule it all. We are the ones who ruled it all, created it all, and our descendants kept creating and expanding on our ideas. So when they talk about the era of cathedral building, that's us. They talk about the mound builders, that's us. That's all of that's us. We went from the classical period into the modern period. And then what happened was everything got wiped out. Everybody left after the fall. We did the surrender of Grenada, which everybody should read. I got a copy of it on my app. You can go and read it for free. But in that surrender of Grenada, that became the mother treaty of all treaties that came after. And then that's after that came the Dum Diversus, then the S2E Trust, then the Black Codes, then the Inquisition, then you understand? It all was about now converting people to the fake version of the Eanity in Christ, to wipe away all memory.
Isn't it like a trust though when you go to these churches and you accept Jesus Christ as your savior?
Yeah. Because Jesus also means justice.
Right.
So there was no J, so it's Iusus, right? Or it could be I just is Christ. You understand? I just is Christ.
Yeah.
So it always come back to
I just is Christ.
Right. That's why they wrote Inri on his cross, allegedly. Right? That's why I find all of these. I did a video you can see up there now. I did a video where I show all of these ancient coins from this void period I'm talking about. And a lot of the coins started with I or J. You know what I'm saying? So it was no one. The one and shit didn't enter into everything until after the 1700s. So after the 1600s, when they did the integralicism.
So is that why they like, okay, on the calendars, is that why they like, so they making up numbers and shit? Like, yeah. Okay.
They went from October 14th on a Monday to that Friday being February 14th. They went from October 4th on a Monday in the beginning of the week. And by the end of that week in 1582, that Friday was now February. Okay? And so everything in between that, they tried to erase. And then what they did was they added that those 10 days made that day 1,000 years. years to that one day. So from that, they was able to subtract 10,000 years from us in terms of the history and add 1,000 years to their history. You see? And then that's when the calendars were adopted and everything started being rerun and re-put in the image of the devil.
Isn't that the dude, Joseph Scaliger? He did that. Okay.
Well, he was one of them. You know, they did it after that as well, because then you had to, they went back and added more shit. Like John Dee was part of it later in the Elizabethan era. So all of this culminated in what they call the Victorian era, when finally the decrepit masses had now infiltrated all of the world governments in the world and was now deposing what was left of the Moors. So that's when they started replacing all the monarchy with white transvestite males and dressing as whites, and the castrados, all of the castrated males, that white males from the Janissary Corps, the shit, they started taking over and started dressing like us. And then started they reset. That's why when you look at all of them reset pictures, all of them people look like they're wearing the same clothes. You look at
they do.
pictures of the 1800s, they all look like they got the same clothes on, or they went to the same tailor or the same haberdasher. How does that work? There's millions of people just walking around aimlessly on the beach. How are y'all niggas? I saw one time when they was showing these niggas at the beach in California, and they all had suits and shit on. Suits, big long dresses, big hats, big buttons, and all this other shit, and they all literally on the edge of the water in shoes and shit like that. Like, that's not normal.
Not at all.
No blankets, no beach bag, nothing. It's just it's like they dropped them off and they just walking around. Like,
Damn.
Yeah, we was invaded in 1492, and we are now waking up to the fact that they invaded the higher world that we had initiated in the empire, and then it was gone. It broke apart, and we've been floundering ever since. You know, but now we're waking up to it, and now it's speeding up. So everything that we've been building on and everybody said was conspiracy is all true now. Everything we ever said about all these conspiracies turned out to be true. COVID was a scam. FTX was a scam. Bitcoin was a scam. Biden was a scam. Kamala, everything they told us. The mask was a scam. Everything. George Floyd's scam. All this shit turned out to be true. So it's no longer. So the enemy of progress is everybody who told us that it wasn't true.
Exactly.
So stop listening.
Some of these conscious people said that same stuff, that to take, like you said, to take the jab. They said that don't listen to the conspiracies, but the conspiracies came out to be true, like you just said.
Just like they told us this nigga Polite wasn't was a genius, some type of shit.
It was always something off about that dude to me.
And I'm just using him as an example. Like they'll promote. Remember what they said? They said we will create the messiahs for them. So when I watch conscious people rise this dude to the heights that they did, and then I'm watching them do this with other people. But then me, I always seem to be blackballed. That's what I knew. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna scream to be heard though. I'm gonna just call it out and run my race. And now everybody see. You know what I mean? There's no tapes of me out here with any of these people. So it's not like I could be drawn into anything that they've been, ever. And it's going to stay like that. Because I only deal with people like you and platforms like this, where people are actually going to listen and actually going to go and research the shit I'm saying and then come and holler at me about it.
Oh, yeah. I got a whole list right here. I don't know if you can see that because the thing in the back. It's a whole list up here.
I see it. I appreciate it, man.
Oh, no, man. I appreciate you coming on here because you really didn't have to do this. I appreciate it, man. When we spin this, it's going to probably be like a lot of people in here. A lot. We disappeared for a while and we had to personal matter, we came back, and
Good.
it's like our viewership went all the way up.
Good, man. That's how it's supposed to do, bro. You know what I
But
mean?
it's crazy. The people that come in the comments, though,
Oh,
it's funny. It's funny to me.
yeah, half of them people are not even real, bro. Half of them
Yeah,
people, they don't even have real pages.
yeah. I have noticed that too, and
Not even real.
I noticed that the same people be on different platforms, the same names and stuff.
Yeah.
Facebook, they follow me. It's weird to me.
Yes, because they've been assigned to you.
Yes.
How is it? They assign
Yes.
demons to you, bro. This is part of their religion.
Oh yeah.
You understand? So, you're doing something right.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get people in here like y'all Peace Pipe TV, y'all Indians. I'm like, not once have I said I was an Indian.
Nope.
Not once.
Nope. And again, you keep trying to disassociate yourself from what your own people was doing. You know what I mean? Like they took the peace pipe from you, gave you a crack pipe. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
that's what they did.
That's
And
true.
now you're off crack, and now you can go back to being in peace. But y'all niggas gotta want it, and they don't want it if it's not coming with some sort of drama that they can't monetize. So there's no drama with me. I'm not gonna go back and forth with a grown man at 51 about his opinion on what I said about Moors. I don't give a damn.
I feel you.
I'm gonna just do another video and have you guys comment on that. Because again, I'm obviously helping feed you. Because you wouldn't have, people wouldn't even know who you was if you wasn't commenting on what I was doing. So again, I'm showing improvement. I'm staying in my lane. I don't know you to make no comment about you.
Exactly.
Because you don't exist to me until you make a comment. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So again, that's why I said half of these comments is not even real people. Because when I chase them back on the YouTube, it always go back to a dummy page. So it may not even be that. It may just be the algorithm of the AI itself.
I have noticed that. Like, there's a guy that followed. Like, the first time you came on here, there was a guy in the comment section, and I ain't gonna say his name because we don't need to blow this dude up. You know who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. He follows you everywhere, everywhere.
Yeah.
But he talks about stupid shit.
Yeah.
Stupid
it's
shit.
Weird. It's weird, man. It's like a low key homo obsession that they have, because I don't think about other men like that. I don't follow like what another man is doing from platform to platform in the context of trying to find something wrong with what he's saying or doing. If I see you in a different platform, I'm like, oh hey, he's over here now. But I'm not looking at it from the perspective of like, okay, great, now I'm gonna see what he say here, and I'm gonna compare it to what he said at the last one, and then I'm gonna find that, and then I'm gonna put this in the clip, and I'm like, that type of shit, that's gay.
That's beta male shit, yes.
That's type gay. You
watch that dude gonna show up. Watch, I'm a screenshot and show you. He gonna show up. He always, everything you do, he show up. I have noticed that. I
can't wait. And this is what I'm saying, man. That's a fan. That's a low key fan. That again, man, has some sort of I don't want to say homoerotic thing, but it's definitely something where you pay that much attention to another dude who's never even mentioned you or knows you or cares what you're doing. Like it's
not even views at this point, because like, you know how some people mention your name to give views. Nah, it's not even views at that point.
It's just, don't like this nigga, and I don't like that people like him. See, that's what it is with me too. A lot of people don't like that other people like me. So it's a problem for them in the context of being liked, because if I'm liked, or I don't have as much dirt on me as everybody else, then they feel like they can't trust you. So I don't put myself in the same arena as any of them for them to be able to try to get a gotcha moment or some shit, because I don't stay, like, I save on hellos and goodbyes. So we cool, we not. I don't have to co-sign you trying to make a name off me. I can just allow you to do that as a third party fan that you are. And eventually what's going to happen is enough people who do like me is going to shut you down.
Exactly.
Because I've actually helped people. I've actually worked with them. So,
most of these people don't live this offline. I have noticed that. There's a lot of these niggas that don't live what they talk about online or offline.
Yeah.
It's a lot of these people. Like, one of them just got exposed. I mean, like, I ain't into saying names unless I have to, but one of them just got exposed. And it's another one that was on here talking more science, this, that, the other, but offline, totally different person. Totally different person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, God. That's why, you know, real recognize real. And those of us that have been pushed to do this will do this regardless. You know, everybody else, you just gotta let them be the cannon fodder that they're gonna be, you know.
I agree. I'm gonna let you close us out, Moore. This is a pleasure, man. I love talking about stuff like this.
Honest, Moore. Me too, man. I really appreciate you having me on and all of that, you know. I really appreciate it. You as well as a queen, man. Thanks for holding me down.
Absolutely, and, always, brother. Always. Well,
yeah, man. Honestly, just to close out, I just want to say definitely thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for coming through. If you can, definitely check out www.aseertheduke.com for all of your great needs when it comes to healthcare, skincare, things like that. Check out www.cordobaorganics.com. Definitely want to check that out. Also, if you have Google or Apple Play, you can go and check out my app. It's called the ADOT app, capital ADOT, the ADOT app. You can definitely check that out. Please subscribe. I update it pretty often. And like I said, please subscribe to my YouTube page. Aseer the Duke Tiers on YouTube, as well as Rumble. I'm trying to think of this anything. Also, www.darksco418.com for you to check out the world's most dangerous comic book novel. It's a labor of love, art piece, comic book novel that I wrote over the course of maybe a year. So this is we're going into our 7th printing now. So definitely check that out. And I got the new joints to premiere soon. So please check those out. And yeah, man, please support other nobles that do great work, because no man is an island, you know. So definitely thank you for having me on the platform. Big up to all of the Moors, whether you're in the temple, outside the temple. Definitely give respect. I'm trying to think. All my Moors on YouTube, brother PNF, brother Moors in America, brother Shikumaga, brother James McGee, Canaan Land Moors, like everybody that's really striving to just put it out, even if they don't rock with each other. Like, I'm striving to rock with everybody that is striving to promote more science and culture as a viable lifestyle option, because we really all we got, man. So, you know, honest to yourself, your platform, brother Illa Hutchins Bay, brother B Dell, like all of these brothers that are on YouTube holding down the Moorish fire. We all we got, man. A lot of imitation, a lot of that's in the game. So keep up the God work, man. And let's bring back the stronghold, you know.
Absolutely. With that, we're gonna say Islam,
Islam, brother.
Islam.
Islam.
Brother.
Honors everyone.